y'all, it's Hope at Crafty Hope, and welcome to my ICAD number 14. This is Index Card a Day, that's what ICAD stands for. And there are prompts from Tammy Garcia, who is the originator of ICAD, as well as prompts from Nina Fickett, who has mixed media ICAD prompts. That the prompts are optional, and today I'm totally going promptless because the Daisy Yellow Tammy's prompt is mood board, and the mixed media ICAD prompt from Nina is value. And when I wrote those down on the back of my card, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to use these probably. They just didn't spark anything in me today. So I decided I had a little bit of an inkling of something I might do, which was do some watercolors, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. But first things first, I'm dipping into one of my scrap boxes. Y'all, I'm trying to work through these scrap boxes where today is 2 weeks into ICAD, and I don't feel like I've made a dent in them. So hopefully in the next several weeks, we're gonna start using up some more of those scraps. But I'm using a new glue stick just to stick down. I think, y'all, that was 3 little pieces of paper. Yeah, I'll never work through all of this at this rate. Oh well. But ICAT is just about showing up every day, working on a small substrate, an index card, and getting a little art in your day. So I'm happy to do that. So, like I said, I collage those little scraps down. I've got a little bit of gesso here. This is the Liquitex Basics gesso, and I've got a little brayer from Ranger, and I am moving that gesso around. I didn't want to turn the whole card white, but I just kind of wanted to push back some of the scraps I had glued down. Now, I really did like the scraps I had put down. Those were really pretty, but they weren't going to work for what I was doing. So once I got that gesso dry, I grabbed my little yogurt container that has some dried up instant coffee in it, and I reconstituted it. And I'm just splattering, and somehow there's a dried hydrangea flower there. I don't know. My desk is crazy, y'all. That probably came out of my scrap box. I'm telling you, there's all kinds of stuff in there. But I am splattering that coffee on there. It's getting a little overwatered. It's not as dark as I was hoping, so I'm going to have to add some more instant coffee in there soon. Once I got that coffee dry, I'm bringing in this watercolor set. It's just a cheap set from Hobby Lobby. Nothing special. And I'm going to do some watercolor flowers. Now, this technique, I believe, is from Tiffany Sharp, who is Tiffany Simply Sharp, I believe, on Instagram. I'll link to her Instagram, and if I can find some more stuff from Tiffany, I will. But I believe she taught this in the first not in fodder school, but there was like a free fodder school session from several of the fodder school teachers, and I think this watercolor flower technique is what Tiffany taught, I think. And it's just making these little V's and pulling the petals out, basically. I used the same technique in my, I think it was May Mixed Media Menagerie. I'll link that here up in the right corner. But it's a technique I really like, and I really, really enjoyed that spread. And so I kind of wanted to play with that some more, and that's what I'm doing. That's all ICAD is showing up and playing a little bit. The prompts are there if you need them, or if you want to use them if they spark something, and they didn't today. So I was like, I'm going to watercolor on some collage and gesso. So that's what I'm doing. And for some reason, I stuck to like an orange and pinky purple palette, which is not really my jam, but I went with it. I'm fixing to sneeze. Hold on, let me see if the sneeze doesn't come out. No. Okay. So I'm just painting these flowers, the gesso and the collage in the background. And the gesso, again, is not a full coating. It was brayered on, so there's lots of texture to that. And the collage, too, had some texture. So all of that kind of aids to soaking up the watercolors in different amounts. I guess that could be part of the value prompt from Nina, but it's not really what I was going for. I just like that it gives these very kind of an aged feel to it, that little bit of gesso soaking it up, the different papers in the background all kind of doing their own thing with the watercolor. All of that just makes me really happy. Yeah. So this is my last flower here that I'm going to pull out. Like I said, I made some V's, I pull that out, and then I take another color and I just kind of dot it in the middle. Like I said, I learned this, I believe, from Tiffany Sharp. So once those are done, I'm going to dry them real quick. That last one there was super watery. And I think in my pictures it comes out much darker than it is, but yeah. And then I'm going to add a bunch of splatters. First, I wanted some Payne's Gray ones, and it took me a minute to find my Payne's Gray in my palette, and it got mixed with some green, so it's not quite as dark as I want, but that's okay. And then I'm pulling in this set of watercolors from Art Philosophy that are metallics, and I've got kind of a bronzy, brassy color there. I'm going to splatter that as well here. I'm just playing, y'all. There's so much splatter going on. I really enjoyed playing today. And then what did I want? I decided I needed some leaves coming off my flowers, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you I didn't like them. I think it's the color maybe I chose. That green just was not the right green for this. So I'm gonna blot it up, and it's gonna leave like a shadow of a leaf there. So I decided I'll go ahead and do that in a couple other places on this card just so that it's got some consistency to it. But really, I'm just going to take a paper towel and pull them back up just so that they're just hints of leaves there. Yeah. And I started thinking about a focal, but I kind of just wanted the flowers to be my focal. So I'm going to go ahead and frame this up. I went back into that metallic watercolor set, and there's like a black. It's probably more of gunmetal since it's a metallic. And I'm just going around the edges kind of lightly with that to frame up this card. And I'll use a little bit of that to splatter, but I'm just aiming for like the corners when I do the splatter on this. I didn't want to get on top of the flowers with that black metallic. So see how I'm just kind of doing some of the corners. Yep. I don't know. I was just playing. And what happened next? I decided I needed a phrase. Y'all, I cut out a bunch of that. I've got a little tin that's got book page phrases that I've cut out, and I found this one that said she sat very still, and it makes me think of like somebody sitting in a garden and meditating and looking at the flowers and the butterflies and the bees and all of that, and just sitting there in the beauty of some flowers. So I chose that phrase. I thought I was going to back it with something. I decided, nope, this is perfect. So I'm going to stick that down with my Who glue stick, grab my Stabilo all in graphite, and kind of just go around that a little bit to bring it forward so it doesn't get lost on there. And I'm going to use a damp paintbrush. I had too much water on it. I'm going to, yeah. Oh, that's too much water. Yeah. So I'm going to get a bunch of water off of there and just kind of blur some of the lines that Stabilo all created. And y'all, this is it. I am in love with this card. I hope you like it. If you have any questions for me, please don't hesitate. Oh, y'all, I forgot. I did add a couple little dots with a black pen in the center of my flowers just to give them a little more definition. Okay, that is it. If you like this, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions, and come back later and see what else I've got going on. Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.